Hi and welcome back to Bump Love. Domestic violence is a form of gender-based violence that happens in the home setting, usually towards children and mothers. Today on the show we have a brave young lady who, through her own emotional and physical abuse, has decided today to share her own story in the hope that a mother out there, a woman out there, can know that this is a situation that they can get away from. She preferred to stay anonymous, and so we'll respect that. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for allowing to share your story with us today. I'd like to start from the beginning, from where it all began. How did you meet your now ex-husband, and what was your marriage life like?
We met at introduction ceremony in Accra. At university, I was part-timing as an usher at events. So I had gone for work, and that's when I met him. We exchanged, interacted. Then we started dating. We dated for 3 years. Yeah, then I walked into marriage. We just did a kuchala. Then I went into marriage. In marriage, it was roughly 8 months. So, and it was a period of the lockdown, and I didn't see anything so different. Yeah, most of the dating, what I experienced during dating, yeah. Maybe I think it's because I didn't take a lot of time in the marriage.
Yeah.
Yes.
So just tell us about the marriage itself. Like, what was it like being married? I know it was during the COVID-19 period,
Yes.
but he was home, you were home. What are your recollections of your 8-month-old marriage? Like, just tell us about what your day was like, your typical day, just so that we can understand the context of the marriage and where your mind was at in that time.
Well, for starters, leaving home, it was more of running.
Oh.
Yes. So it's not that I was excited, oh, I'm getting married, I'm moving in. I was running away from something, so it hadn't synced into me that I am married. So I guess that's why I didn't embrace the little things. You know, like you're running away and you're into this hiding place, and maybe you're expecting things to get worse or things to get better. Okay, state of confusion.
Okay.
I would say that.
Can I ask about what you were running away from?
The pressure. My mother is the kind of, why don't you get married? You should get married.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you're now married.
Yeah.
You start to notice a change.
Yes.
What were some of these things that he did or that he was doing that concerned you?
It was most of give and take.
Okay. How do you mean?
When he's angry, let's say he has bought you a handbag.
Okay.
I will want my handbag back.
Hey.
Yes.
Okay.
So it just happened with a handbag and a watch. Give me my watch back, give me my handbag. I was shocked. I mean, who does that?
Yeah.
Because honestly, he's financially stable.
Yeah, okay.
So for someone to give and take back a watch and handbag,
okay,
it would really...
It concerned you?
Yes, it concerned me.
What other things concerned you?
That's when, I don't know how they say it in English, but in Uganda it's okulangira.
Okay.
To the point that he even reminds you of the food you eat. No way.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
When you have an argument with your spouse, you would expect your discussion to rotate around that particular
whatever has happened, the situation.
Yes. But for his side, he would blow off and talk about what he did for your parents, what he did for your brothers. And you're confused. You're like, what is happening? What did I do? What is this thing that we cannot sort out? It's reminding you day and night of this, that, and that, and that.
So, because when you say that, it kind of feels like that means you are having fights constantly. Because when you're saying day and night and day and night, or was he doing it anytime he felt like, when he's angry on his own?
When we were dating, it would take a period of 3 months, then that happens, or 4 or 6. I think that's why we dated for
a very long
years,
time.
3 years. But when I walked into his house, it was constant. And you know, you're staying with someone in the house, nothing has happened. Let's say you've been talking well at night, and they wake up in the morning and they are angry. And the last time you checked, you didn't have any disagreement. You slept very well. You ask yourself, what did I do? You check, is the house untidy? Is something in my phone that maybe he checked through and he's angry? Did somebody call him and say, maybe I've done this and that? And so after he blows out, does this, does that, then it's later that he tells you, do you know what, I have pressure from work.
Oh.
Yes.
When you said does this, does that, I kind of want to understand what this, does that. Was he violent physically? You know, there's people who throw things at walls. There's people who beat people up.
Yes.
When you say does this, does that, what do you mean?
He was physically violent,
Okay.
emotionally violent, controlling, a control freak.
Okay.
To a point of, this is not a good friend. I no longer want to see you with this one. The other is not a good friend. I no longer want to see you with the other. Where are you going? What are you going to do? Do you really have to do it? And before I knew it, it's now work. Sit home. No more working. Yes.
I want to hear, is there anyone in particular that he asked you not to see that absolutely broke your heart?
Yes.
Who is that?
I had a best friend for about 5 years, and we were so close.
Was this best friend female or male?
Female.
Female.
Yes. But to my disappointment, they had an affair.
Oh. So is that why he was asking you not to see her?
Yes. And that's because I kept on asking, why? But what's wrong with this girl? Because I'm not an outing person that you'd say, oh, I don't want my wife to go to bars. I don't want my wife to go to different outings and all that. I'm indoors person. And so once my friend, I checked out for behaviors that maybe would have alarmed him, and I just couldn't figure it out. But he kept on saying, I don't want you to see you again with that. I'm asking, why? Yes, so later, that's another story. That's when I found out that they had
been seeing each other.
They've been seeing
Are
each
you the
other.
one who introduced her to him?
Yes, I did.
I'm so sorry about that. I'd like to talk a bit more about the, I think you've spoken about the controlling behavior.
Yes.
You've spoken about the about the emotional abuse, you know, taking stuff away from you and all of. I want to talk about the physical abuse because I know you have a young baby, and so a very young baby under 6 months, and so when I make my calculations, it means that in the 8 months of your marriage was the time when you're actually pregnant.
Yeah.
Would you tell us more about this physical abuse, especially in light of the fact that you were pregnant at the time?
The physical abuse started when we were still dating. It was the first time it happened was a slap, a random slap, and you're shocked.
What had you done?
We were having an argument about the controlling bit. We were in the car. Then I got a phone call from a male colleague. And he was asking me, where are you? Because by the time I was still working, so it was all about business. I was supposed to go and work the other day, but my kind of business is the type where someone can just randomly call you and they need you the next day, more urgent things. So when I got off the phone, he got angry. Who is that? Who is asking you where you are? Before I wouldn't explain, it was just a slap.
Okay.
And he moved out of his car. So the next day, he came apologizing, I'm sorry, what. He's a person who can really cry, kneel down, and do everything. Call your friends, call your mother, please tell I'm sorry, please tell her I'm sorry. So when it happened, I'm like, okay, if he has apologized, maybe.
Yeah.
I would say
And he seems to have apologized a lot.
A lot, yes.
Yeah.
Then after six months, we traveled together. He took me to Dubai, and he was showing me something on his phone. Then I got a message. There's a message, the notification that came WhatsApp, and it had intimate message, and the number saved was a lady's name. So I gave the phone back, and that shame, he turned it into anger. Yes. I didn't ask him who is this, because it was obvious.
Yeah.
Yes, who is this? And he just woke up in the morning and he was angry at me.
Okay.
Yes, but I decided to keep quiet because, one, that was my first time traveling, and he had my passport, he had my everything. I didn't have money on me.
Wow.
So in my mind, let me just keep quiet until I get back to Uganda. So to my surprise, in the morning, he was the one who was angry.
Okay.
Yes, then actually there he terribly hit me.
Okay.
Because that scuff happened on the bed, and he was hitting me like
everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Actually boxing, grabbing your hair and all that.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so it kept happening. I think violence happened about 4 times. So when I walked into marriage, I was then 5 months pregnant.
By the time you walked into marriage?
No, I walked in January, then I conceived in March.
Okay.
So I was 5 months pregnant, and it happened again. And I was shocked that I'm pregnant. And maybe I thought, because my belly didn't come out so early, maybe I'd forgotten I'm pregnant. Maybe I just kept on making excuses for him. Yes, so I kept on. Then the climax was when he hit me again at 7.
What had you done at 7 months?
At 7 months, when he visited home, he was supposed to pay money for dowry.
Okay.
So he said he wouldn't pay the whole amount. He can afford only half of it.
Okay.
Then my papa agreed and said, okay, you'll go together and start marriage, but please, you'll complete the balance. So during that time, my mom kept on pressuring me, please talk to him, your daddy needs the money. And I said, but look here, it's lockdown.
Yeah.
We're not working. How do you expect me to face this man and ask for money for dowry?
Yeah.
So my mother kept pushing until one day I decided to talk to him. So that night, I actually talked to him a Saturday before. Then he said, it's fine, I'm going to think about it, I'm going to look for Papa's money and I'll give it to him. So a week passed. So that night when he came back home, he was so angry. He started asking me, you said your daddy wants his balance for dowry? He kept saying, where do you guys think I get money from? Are you guys working? And I'm like, but if you can you please talk to mom?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe if you don't mind, could you give him a call?
Yeah.
Because I was also sent to tell you this.
Yeah.
So it's not my fault.
Yeah.
I don't know, because we are all mature here. I'm mature, my dad is mature, my mother is mature, you're mature.
Yeah.
I don't see why it's me you're yelling at, because he was really yelling at me.
Yeah.
So I noticed he was getting angry. I just went back to the sitting room and sat on a chair and kept on asking me, what do you guys think I am? Where do you think I get this money and all that? But I didn't have anything to say.
Yeah.
So I kept quiet. So there was something on the dining table. He just got it and threw it at me.
What was it?
It was, I think it were mandazis in some packed kavera.
Okay.
So he grabbed it and threw it at me with a lot of force. So I really got angry, and there was a glass next to me. I held it and walked towards him, and I told him, but why do you hit me always? What is it that you can't talk to me about? And I don't know, luckily I just got myself together and put the glass down before I got next to him. Then when that happened, he just came from the other side of the dining table and grabbed me and started hitting me so badly. The neck, the head. I don't know, like men fighting each other. Yeah. So I tried, because I was so angry, I tried fighting back, but I couldn't. So that's when I had my baby kicks first.
So your child was premature?
Sorry?
So your child was premature? Prematurely?
No. So when I had him kick me so fast, it's when I got
okay. Yeah.
And I reminded myself that you're pregnant. And you have a baby.
Yeah.
So I had to calm down, and then after a few minutes, he let go of me. So when he let go of me, I left the place around the sitting room and went into our bedroom and sat on the bed. And he followed me, kept on saying the usual words. What do you have? Your family background, you're nothing, you think you're pretty, you're not pretty, I'll put you down, and all sorts of words. But I kept on praying, because now my baby was even kicking them more. I kept on praying to God. I said, God, please
have my faith. Yeah.
I kept on saying, please forgive me, God, but if I make it out of here, I will walk away.
Yeah.
Just save my baby.
Yeah.
Yes, I kept on saying, save my boy, because I knew the sex by then. I said, save my boy, please save my boy.
Yeah.
Yes. So after about 40 minutes, he walked away. He drove his car and left.
Okay.
Yes.
And so this was your release time. What?
Not really. I wouldn't say that. When after a few minutes, the baby also stopped, and I went to bed. I collected myself and said, okay, that's marriage. He will come tomorrow, apologize. We will move on. I tried to sleep, but I couldn't. And I kept on thinking, now look here, you're pregnant. What if something happens to you? Or what if something happens to your baby? Or what if you die? Tomorrow, they'll come, pick your body and say, maybe it's a pregnancy, maybe it's something, because I didn't have physical bruises. So, and they'll say, oh, look at this widower. He has lost the wife and stuff like that. You bring a very big bucket of flowers and lay it on my casket, and I'll be gone just like that.
Yeah.
So that's when I said no. I said, I got my phone, went on Google and searched about domestic violence.
Okay.
And I discovered that there's nothing good.
This is not how marriage is. This is domestic violence.
Yes, and there's actually nothing good that comes out of it. If it's not physical disability, you die.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's when I called my mother that night at around 3 a.m. and I told her. And she told me, just get a few things and come back home.
A few things?
Yes, that's what she told me.
A few things?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you pick up a few things at 3 a.m. or in the morning?
Yeah, I didn't. After talking to her, I also talked to two of my other friends. They didn't know what I was really going through, and I told them, I've been going through this and this and this, but I'm leaving. Today I'm leaving my marital home. Yeah, but that I sent them through WhatsApp. So I started packing those few things. I got my original documents, and by 6 a.m. I was leaving the house.
Okay.
Yes, I left the house and I went back to my parents' home.
Okay.
Yes.
What, some of the things that I feel about your entire story is, if I were in your shoes, I'd probably blame my family.
Mm-hmm.
Because, every time you've had that now, like, that final fight came from home. I'm wondering, did you ever tell them what you are going through before they could put you under pressure, one, to get married?
Now, like when the violence happened in Dubai, when I came back, because I was scared, I talked to my mom. I told her. But I would say I have toxic parents.
Okay.
Yes, they are more of hang in there, let your brothers go to school. Hang in there, let this pass. Hang in there, let him first do this. But my parents are not jobless. They both have jobs. Yes, they both do have
How does
jobs.
that make you feel?
So horrible.
Because there's many moms and parents who watch this show, and one day their children will be entering marriages. Is there something you'd like to say to those parents?
Yeah, the reason why I'm leaving today is because I don't want that to happen to my.
Okay.
I don't want to be a toxic parent to my boy.
Yeah.
So we parents cause hurt to our children.
Yeah.
Especially African parents.
Yeah.
When you tell them, no, let's do this, and they're like, oh, you're trying to act like the Western child.
Yeah.
It's more of, I don't know where that Africanism comes in.
Yeah.
Parents do not want to, I wouldn't say equal with their children, but sometimes you need to sit and listen to what your child tells you.
Yeah.
Parents do cause you a lot of pain, bad decisions.
Yeah.
I've toxic parents, I would say.
Yeah.
And so parents out there, please do not be so mean to your child, because you are the parent and they are the children.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
So you've left the home.
Yes.
You've gone back to you've left your marital home, you're back home with your parents. You don't have a job because you left your job, you don't have friends, and you're starting life afresh. Tell us about that. And you have a newborn child with you. Tell us about that.
I didn't entirely break up with all my friends. Because of what happened with the other one. I started distancing myself from them, but I kept with two.
Okay.
I don't know really, but I kept with those. Yeah, so they are the ones that helped me through that trying moment. And then I also found solace in prayer. Yes, prayer, reading the Bible, cell gatherings and all that. And just looking at my son every day.
Yeah.
That's the best counsel that I would get. Yeah, watching him grow, watching him smile. Fortunately, he's still giving me the support.
That's actually what I wanted to ask next.
He does give me the support. Sometimes it comes with a lot of words, but you hang in there. At the end of the day, he does. Keep calm, things would be better. Maybe I would have walked away when I saw the first red flag. Because when a man tells you I will hit you, he will definitely hit you. When a man slaps you, he'll box you. He will definitely box you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think maybe I just want to say this to you. We all make mistakes. And we're here for this, in this life, for a reason. Maybe it's so you can tell other women the same thing. That if someone shows you who they are, believe them. But also, more importantly, it's that you've walked away. While the best time to have walked away was the first time, the next best time was when you walked away. And so, as Bump Love would like to, I don't want to say congratulate you, but to hug you and tell you it's all right. And tell you that this will one day be a thing of the past. And maybe one day you'll help other young moms to fight through things like this. Are you a mom going through domestic violence? especially during this period. Tell us, inbox us. Don't do this alone. Tell a neighbor, tell a friend. Walk away if you have to. We'll be speaking to a counselor who will be telling us more on domestic violence. Stay here. Until next time, stay safe.